Hello fellow classmates. As you all know, our final project for this quarter was to redesign the clothing hanger. In this video, our team, Hangers are the dumbest thing ever created, or HADTech for short, will be guiding you through our redesign process. From late night brainstorming sessions to the triumphs and trials of prototyping, this project was nothing short of a roller coaster. We hope you enjoy. In order to redesign the clothing hanger, we first had to figure out who our users will be and what kind of needs they might have. So we figured that would be adults, children, retailers, people with limited hand mobility, just trying to encompass everyone that might be using a clothing hanger at some point in their lives. So after figuring out who our users would be, we went out to interview different people to figure out the biggest problems that people have with the current design of the clothing hanger.
So main issue with clothing hangers is that they don't catch the clothing, so the clothing's constantly slipping off. There's not enough grooves to catch it.
When clothes fall off constantly, and so they're constantly picking them up, and the larger sizes like the shoulders fall off. They need little grippies or they need to be wider or something, but it would be nice if that didn't happen.
Being too thin and then breaking, not long enough to keep product on them, they fall off. The hook that holds the hangers fall out.
After interviewing, we found that there were a few problems that people had with the clothing hanger. The biggest one that we heard was clothing always falling off the hangers, whether that be because the clothing is a wider neck shirt or just the hanger just isn't long enough to keep clothing on there correctly. Another issue that we heard was that hangers are flimsy and they like to break a lot. And then another interesting one that we heard was that hangers are kind of only used for a couple things. So you can hang a shirt up with the hanger, or maybe even pants depending on the type of hanger. So having maybe a more versatile hanger would create a better experience for people.
Now that we have information about clothing hangers, we can brainstorm point of view statements by determining who is using hangers, what needs stem from hangers, and why these needs occur. An example of a POV statement for this project is that daily users at home or work need a hanger that is durable and doesn't break easily so that they can have an experience that is less frustrating. Since we interviewed retail workers who use hangers more often than the average person, we realized that a constant issue is that hangers get caught and tangled with each other and are hard to keep organized. For organization issues, we came up with this POV statement. Daily users at home or work need hangers that are easy to organize and won't get caught and tangled with other hangers. These are other POV statements that we developed regarding hangers. Daily users need hangers that can easily accommodate narrower and wider necked shirts as well as children's clothing. Daily users need hangers that can hold diverse types of clothing, especially for things that are not just normal shirts and pants. Daily users need a modular hanger to reduce the number of hangers they need.
After coming up with our POV statements, we developed a series of how might we questions to start thinking about how we can make a hanger that can give our users what they need. We just use our point of view statements to create how might we questions. Questions are as follows. How might we make a hanger that does not leave bumps on the shoulders of shirts? How might we make hangers that are easy to organize and won't get caught on other hangers? How do we create a hanger that will keep clothing in place and prevent it from falling? How might we create a hanger that can accommodate narrow-necked shirts? How do we create a hanger capable of working for many types of clothing? How do we create hangers strong enough to hold larger and heavier garments? How might we create a hanger that does not take much time or effort to use? How might we create a hanger that is multifunctional and reduces the total amount of hangers in a closet? How might we create hangers that are durable yet cheap to manufacture?
We started to come up with ideas about how our how might we questions could be answered. First, how might we make a hanger that doesn't leave bumps on the shoulders of shirts? And second, how might we create a hanger that'll keep clothing in place and prevent them from falling off? To tackle this issue, we first thought of using a modular clip design that could hold several types of clothing like pants and shirts. This idea could hold clothes on really well, but if you've ever had the pleasure of using clip-on pants hangers, you know how difficult they are to actually hang things on. Plus, clips would cause unwanted creases and bumps in your clothes that usually need to be ironed out. We also came up with the idea of an expanding and contracting lightsaber style hanger. It could have rounded shoulder pads to help with bumps in the shoulders, and it could theoretically fit any size of shirt or coat. We scratched this because of how difficult it was to actually make a functioning prototype. We also had the idea of using magnetic clips. Magnets wouldn't be strong enough to severely wrinkle or leave bumps on clothes, and they were relatively easy to take off and reattach. They also hold things together pretty well. This concept was a major contender for our final prototype design.
We felt as though the biggest problem with the current design of the clothing hanger was its limited use and functionality. Hangers are good for shirts and coats, but are not the best for pants, and are sometimes frustrating to use. We wanted to create a hanger that could be expandable and collapsible depending on the size of the garment, as well as including multiple parts that would allow for different functions, such as having detachable clips for pants. Another huge issue we have all run into with hangers is they are so flimsy. They bend when a heavy garment is placed on the hanger and break when an adequate amount of pressure is applied. In order to fix this issue, having a thicker plastic hanger or even a metal one would be better. Keeping these questions in mind, we began to try out ideas.
Hi everybody. This is the model that we came up with for the expanding and contracting hanger. It can expand up to 50 centimeters and contract down to 30 centimeters, so it can basically fit in any jacket, coat, shirt. It expands and contracts the whole range of widths of human shoulder sizes. It uses a two-piece modular design and a key system over here and a wedge system on the end to keep it from hyperextending. The key gives it stability and makes it able to hold weight when it's in its fully extended position. These shoulder pads are designed to not produce wrinkles on the shoulders when there's weight held on them. This piece right here is a modular hook design. It can, of course, be taken out of its little dock here and be replaced with something like a hook to hang it in a closet or a suction cup to hang it on a piece of glass or a mirror or a piece of Velcro even, or even like a tiny hook so you can hang it in your car. We learned a lot from this prototype, and we were able to move some of these design elements into later prototypes as well. The downfall of this prototype, though, came in the actual 3D printed model right here. We simplified it down and shrunk it just to save time and also just to turn this into kind of a proof of concept. But the tolerances had to be so loose that it just ended up not holding any weight, and we decided it wasn't worth it to continue this way anymore.
So this is the prototype that I made. It's the hanger with magnets on it, so this is going to help with like wider neck shirts or shirts that just like to slip off of hangers all the time. So all it is I got a hanger and then I glued 4 pretty strong magnets to the hanger. So this is going to account for like really wide neck shirts and then kind of narrower ones. And then I also have 2 extra magnets kind of sitting on top. And so you're going to put these over the clothing, and then it'll keep it from kind of slipping off all the time, hopefully. So I have a regular hanger right here, and this is a piece of clothing that I really struggle with trying to keep on the hanger because it always falls off. As you can see, it just kind of slips off. But with the prototype that I made, that is supposed to eliminate that issue. So let me just put this on here really quickly. And then I just put these magnets right on top of the clothing, so you can see there. And now it just kind of stays there. Obviously, these aren't going to withstand like a hurricane or something, but I think that's pretty good for clothing. Alright, so let's put this on here. And then all you have to do, okay, how about you do it?
Take the magnets and attach?
Yeah, just put them on there like that. It's okay, they're a little hard to take off, I guess.
They are some strong magnets, that's for sure.
Well, I had to have it strong so it would stay.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of wiggle it around and yeah.
I think that looks pretty good. It'll stay on pretty good.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah, there's magnets on either side, and then there's these little tiny extra magnets, and and then you just put them over the clothing right here. So that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to detach it though.
Yeah, the first guy had the same problem. All you do is there's like extra magnets, and then you just put them over top of these ones over the clothing, and then we made it in the hopes that it'll stay on the hanger instead of falling off. So do you want to test it? You can test it with your own jacket too if you'd like.
It might be kind of difficult.
That's okay.
So you just take it off like this, and then it goes here.
Yeah. And then just on both sides. You can kind of wiggle around.
Yeah. I think it would be.
So, do you have any suggestions? Or like, I think it would be better if it was like this.
No.
No?
It's actually really creative. I probably couldn't have thought of it. It's a really good idea. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
After testing all of our prototypes, we decided that our final product would be the hanger with magnets on it. It seemed like a pretty practical idea, and then after testing it with people, they seemed to really like it, and it kind of seemed like something that they could use in their daily lives and would really improve the experience that people have with clothing hangers. So after testing, we did find that the biggest problem people had with the prototype was it was hard to get the magnets on and off. So we tweaked the final design a little bit, but this is what it looks like now. So this is our final prototype that we came up with. The design is a little bit different than what we initially had. The biggest differences are that instead of having the magnet actually glued onto the hanger, we just made a clip for the magnet. So there's just a magnet glued into that. And so you can move it around based on what type of shirt you want hung up. This one is a little farther down for like wider neck shirts. And the other difference was that we made a handle for the secondary magnet to be put in. And so that makes a better experience for the user, just being able to take it on and off really easily, because we found in the interviews that people were having a hard time when it was just a magnet sitting on there. So that's why we made the handle. So those are the biggest differences, and this is what our final prototype looks like. Our users for our final prototype hasn't changed much than what it was in the beginning. So our final prototype would help daily users, so that would be adults, children, people with dexterity problems or limited hand mobility. And I would also like to think that this would work for retail workers, since they seem to need this the most. The only issue I see with this is people would want to steal those little magnets. So if there's a way to attach them to the hanger or something permanently, that would definitely work. But all in all, this prototype, I would say, would be helpful for all types of users. So our final prototype met a few of our problem statements, kind of requirements. So the biggest one was that daily users need a hanger that'll accommodate wider neck shirts, or just different types of clothing, bigger clothing, clothing that just likes to fall off the hanger. So having the prototype that we do will hold these garments in place, and they're not prone to falling off anymore.